Also, Aqeedah is the most honorable knowledge. It is the science about Allah. So when we read about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, this is Aqeedah. There are also so many books talks about Aqeedah. And some of these books, like for example, Al-Aqeedah Al-Wasitiyya for Ibn Taymiyyah, or Al-Aqeedah Al-Tahawiyya for Al-Tahawi. And they are mostly all the same with very minor differences. And Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed some knowledge on me, and I learned Al-Aqeedah Al-Wasitiyya and Al-Tahawiyya. There are also other Aqeedahs like Al-Aqeedah Al-Sufraniyya and things like that. All of them, their core and their principle is to believe in one God and to worship one God and talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the science about Allah. Who is Allah? What did He create? Is He a male or female? What is Allah going to do in the Day of Judgment? What are the attributes of Allah? What are the abilities of Allah? What are the names of Allah? All these things are answered in the Aqeedah. When we talk about Aqeedah, we talk strictly in the beginning about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second, the more you know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more fear you will have in your heart. You will have what is called khashya, is to have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. More love, your love will be increasing. Your fear would be increasing. Your respect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be more. And your worship would be even better. And you will be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's why Aqeedah is so important, because it really draw you nearer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also, the Aqeedah corrects the intentions and actions. I was talking to my friend today, and she was asking me about Jannah and what is going to be in heaven. And I was explaining to her. But then after that, I was like thinking, are we really worshipping Allah just because we want to go to Jannah? Yeah, this is for people who really, expect that everything is in return. When we do something good, do we expect that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does good to us? He already has done so many good to us. At least Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us, gave us this air to breathe, gave us this house to live in. All these ni'am and blessings and abundances that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, how are we going to repay Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised also the believers in Jannah. But is it because we are good? Is it because we are good? Is that why we're going to Jannah? No, it's by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not because of our goodness. Not because just we did something good and that's it. We deserve that reward. We really don't deserve that reward. It is by the mercy and the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we enter Jannah. But of course we have to show Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we love Him by practicing Islam in the best manners. And so I was telling her, we shouldn't just care, what Jannah has and what is in Jannah and so on, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains a lot about Jannah in the Quran and in the Hadith. But we should care more about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So all our actions and all our worships should have one intention, and one intention alone is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to please Him. And so we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us in worshipping Him and pleasing Him in the best manner, inshallah. The last thing is answering the misconceptions and attacks against Islam. So Aqeedah actually is like some kind of protection around you. It gives you like a shield of protection. So if someone comes and tells you, for example, that Jesus is God, or for example, telling you we should have pluralism, that everyone worship their own God and that God is Allah, and all these ways that can lead you to Rome, as they say, right? In Arabic, that's what we say. No, Aqeedah actually will show you the distinctive line between what is right and what is wrong. It is a light to the life that it demolishes everything that is darkness, and it is very clear, and it has an answer for every question in Islam. So it answers many of the misconceptions about Islam and about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.